cool cats and kittens, welcome to another SCL online lesson with me, Paul. So glad you can join me today. So as you can see, today's lesson we are going to look at addition and subtraction. Now you'll notice that it says part 1. Now the reason it's part 1 is because today's lesson we are only going to be looking at calculating single and 2-digit numbers. So only numbers that are single digits and 2 digits. Part 2 will be uploaded soon. That is going to deal with 2 lots of 2-digit numbers and also 3-digit numbers. So we're going to start at the beginning today, and part 2 is going to deal with some bigger numbers. So today we're just looking at making a number line to add 2 and 3-digit numbers. But before we start, it is puzzle time. I love a good puzzle, I love a good brain teaser, and just like when you play sports and you have to do a warm-up to warm up your muscles, whenever we do any work, it's so important that we warm up our brains. So what's going to happen is, I'm going to show you a shape on the screen, and what I want you to do is tell me how many triangles you can see inside this shape. So I want you to pause the video when the shape comes up, because once it comes up, I'm going to count down from 5 and then I'm going to tell you the answer. So I want you to give you a chance to actually figure out the answer. Do this with the people in your home, whoever it is you're with. See if anyone can get the right answer. So here's the shape. Pause the video now, because I'm going to count down from 5 and then tell you the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. The answer is, drum roll, 35. So 35 triangles inside this shape. Who got it right? If you got it right, pat on the back. So now we're all warmed up and ready to go. We're going to look at using number lines. So single digit number lines. Now don't worry about if these are easy or not. It's about setting up your number line to be able to get you to get the right answer. So if we had a question like this, 6 plus 3. First thing we've got to do is draw our number line. So what I'd like you to do is get a pen, a pencil, a felt tip, a crayon, or anything that you have that you can write with, and also something to write on. Paper, card, just not the floor or the walls, because you will get shouted at. Okay? So go and get those now, because we're going to be drawing quite a few number lines as we go on through this session. So if you need to pause the video now and get everything that you need. So we take our sum. Now, I always say, whenever you're drawing a number line, the highest number you should go to is 20. So if you're starting at 0, the highest number you should go to is 20. If you're having to count more than 20, then the number line is not the best method. The method we would use will be coming in part 2. But for today's examples, I am going to be using spaces of 10. So every number line you draw will only have 10 numbers in. So draw your number line like this, and I want you to have a look at this number. Okay, so we notice there are 2 single digit numbers. So we already know the answer to this. So that's how we'll know what numbers to put on. So in this example, our number line will start at 0. And it will go to 10. Now, we will start it at 0 because our numbers don't contain any 10s. They are single digit numbers. So that's how we know where to start the number line from. If it's a single digit number, we will always start from 0. So if we take this as an example, and I want you to do this with me as we're going along. You take your first number, which is number 6, and we'll mark that on our number line, like we can see there. Then the most crucial thing whenever you do maths is, what is the question asking you to do? Is this asking us to add or take away? It's asking us to add. Okay, so that's so important, especially with number lines. When we add using a number line, we always move from left to right. So we move up the number line. We don't move down the number line, we move up the number line. So once we've got our mark, 6 plus 3, we jump along 3 steps. Step 1, 2 steps, 3 steps. So we land on 9, which is of course our answer. 6 plus 3 is 9. And you'll notice as well, we only ever jumped 1 space at a time. We didn't jump 3 spaces straight away. We didn't jump 2 spaces. Every time you use a number line, please make sure you're only jumping 1 space at a time. That way you will never ever get the question wrong. Okay, so can we spot the difference? What is the difference between this question and the question you've just done? So we had 6 plus 3 and now we have 12 plus 5. What is the difference? Okay, the difference is we now have a 2-digit number. So this number has 2 digits. So the number 12 is made up of 1 lot of 10 and 2 lots of 1s to give us the number 12. Now here's the little trick that you can use to set up your number line. If you take your big number, you look at how many 10s is attached to it. So this number 12 has 1 10. So I know straight away when I draw my number line, I don't have to start it from 0. I can start from 10. So use that little trick. If it has 1 lot of 10, you can start your number line from 10. And it's the same for any number. If this had 2 lots of 10, if this number was in the 20s, I could start my number line from 20 because I know it already has 2 lots of 10. But for this example, we have 1 lot of 10, so we can start our number line from 10. And once you know where to start it from, and like I said before, if you draw a number line, always try and have them as a sort of 20 number gap. But this is just an example showing 10 numbers. So we take our marker. I'd like you to do this as we go along. So you should have your number line drawn out. If you haven't got it drawn out, pause the video and draw it out exactly as you see on screen now. So then once you've drawn that out, you put your marker on number 12. That's our starting point. Don't forget the direction we're moving is based on what the question is asking us. So it's asking us to add, so we know, because we're clever, that when we add, we move along the number line from left to right. So let's count along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you've counted along 5 spaces on your number line, you get to 17. So we know 12 plus 5 equals 17. We know that because we've jumped 1 step at a time. We haven't skipped ahead. We've said how many times does it want us to jump? 5 times. So we've done it 5 times. Okay, time for a bit of fun. What I would like you to do now is again, pause the video, and I'm sure you've all seen the toilet roll challenge. I've done it. I was pretty bad at it, to be honest. But I would like you to do this now. Pause the video and compete against someone in your house, home, wherever you are. So you have 20 seconds to see how many keepy-ups you can do with your toilet roll. So after that 20 seconds is up, write the number and then give the toilet roll to somebody else. They then have to do however many keep-ups they can do in 20 seconds. Once the 20 seconds is up, write the number. And then your challenge is to see if you can add up the total number of keep-ups done by the two people, but using a number line to get you to your answer. So please make sure you do that. Do your keep-ups, but make sure you're using your number line to help you get to the right answer. And if you want to film yourself doing your keep-ups, please do it. Share it on the Facebook page. It'll be so good to see how much better you are at this than me. So do that now. Go and pause the video. See how we get on. So number lines to subtract. Now the principles or the ideas when we do this are the same. There's just a few little tweaks that we have to make. So if we had this, for example, 8 take away 5, or 8 minus 5. So make sure your words are right. We look at our numbers and we say, right, what is our biggest number? Our biggest number is the number 8. And 8 is a single digit number. Therefore, I know my number line doesn't have to start any higher than 10. Because my biggest number that I'm taking away from is already in this number line from 0 to 10. So when we subtract using a number line, we look at our biggest number and that'll decide the highest number on our number line. So because 8 is a single digit number, it falls between 0 and 10, I know my number line doesn't have to go above 10 to start. And then we do the same thing as before. We take our marker and we put it on the number that we are starting with. So 8. What the question is asking us to do? It's asking us to subtract. Okay, so that again is the most important thing that you need to look out for in these questions. Subtract. So when we subtract using a number line, we do the opposite. So we move this way. We move down the number line towards the lowest number. So when we're subtracting, we're going from right to left, down the number line. So for this example, 8 take away 5, we're going to jump 5 spaces. And our answer is 3. And notice again how I only moved one space at a time. I didn't jump ahead. I didn't do it in 2 lots. I jumped one space at a time. So again, what do we notice in this question? What have we got? We have a 2-digit number. So 17 contains 2 digits. It contains a 1 and it contains a 7. So the 1 is 1 lot of 10 and 7 are 7 lots of 1s to give us 17. So again, I look at my number and I say, right, so if I've got 17, what's the highest number that my number line needs to go up to? It has to be higher than 10 because the number is higher than 10. But does it have to be higher than 20? Not really, because we're only dealing with 1 lot of 10. So I draw my number line and I know that the highest number has to be 20. Now you could start from 17, but it's just easier and neater in your work to always do it in nice even blocks. So 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, etc., etc. So look at your number. How many 10s does it contain? How many 1s does it contain? You will know what your highest number needs to start from. And then we do exactly the same as last time. We take our big number, put down our marker, and again, I'd like you to do this with me. So 17, what's the question asking us to do? Subtract 5. So subtract 5 lots of 1s. So I move down the number line, 1 space, 2 space, 3 spaces, 4 spaces, 5 spaces. So I land on the number 12, which is my answer. As always, just moving one space at a time. That's the key bit when you're actually using your number line. Don't try and skip ahead, just go one space at a time and you will always land on the right answer. So your turn. I've spoken enough. I'm sure you're fed up of listening to my voice. So you can have a go at cracking these little problem solvers. I love doing puzzles like these. They're really good for your brain, really good to add and subtract and make your brain nice and sharp, and it makes number lines a lot easier to understand. Now you'll notice there are two. So this one here, so that starting with 6 plus something equals 14. This is slightly easier. This is slightly easier. There are some trickier maths questions in there. For example, 14 plus 16. I've put them in just to test you. If you can't do them, do not worry. Just do what you can. So if you can only work out using a number line what 6 plus something makes 14, amazing. That shows that you can draw a number line and you can get to your answer. So don't worry if you can't answer the more difficult ones. This puzzle is a lot trickier, it's a lot harder, but questions like these with 2-digit numbers are going to be coming up in part 2 of addition and subtraction. I just wanted you to have a go to see if you can come up with the right answer. So have a go at those, use your number lines to help you, and I will speak to you all very soon. Stay safe, be happy. I'm going to say adios, and I'll speak to you soon.